up players with Adrian, and then Coach Ross will be here around 12:30.
Really rough today. I think Ben said that, like, you wearing his hat at fan day, like, in that time period, he had, like, quite a few orders that came in. So is this going to be the same thing for him?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I hope so. I'm glad that he got to profit off it a little bit. I enjoy the hat. I enjoy the shirt and the stuff the guys are doing around the team. So any chance I get to support him, I'll do that.
As for you, you're a captain. You're now the first three-time captain at Nebraska. What does it mean to be in this position and to have that moment?
Yeah, well, it's almost hard to believe, in such a storied program like Nebraska, and to be able to call myself the first three-time captain is pretty special and something I am very proud of. But my work's not done. There's a lot to be done during the season and a lot I need to do as a captain. Just incredibly proud and honored.
When you think about some of the slower starts to the season, I mean, Akron gets canceled, Ohio State last year. How important is it to start strong and to build some of that momentum going into the year?
Yeah, well, you said it. It's incredibly important, and especially because of years past, I think we haven't necessarily shot right out of the gates the way we needed to, and that's an emphasis for us. We have to be ready to go first drive of the game, first quarter, and it's a Big Ten opponent. So,
hey, Adrian, how have you seen Logan and Heinrich and Matt, everybody in that room, come along behind you to build up that camp?
Yeah, I mean, it really hasn't just started. It didn't start during camp. It started all the way back in spring. Those guys have attacked it. And Logan, I mean, I forget that he's still such a young guy. He didn't get a spring. He came early, and we only had 2 practices. So this has been huge for him. It's been huge for Heinrich. And obviously Masker's a veteran guy who's been there and seen it. And it's been really fun to be a part of this group. And I feel like they're coming along the way we want them to.
What's the biggest thing Logan's done since the spring, that you've seen where you've said, okay, he did make a move?
Yeah, well, he's just gotten a lot more reps, He's made a lot of improvements, and I think that's come with the reps, starting to make quicker decisions and understanding the playbook is a process, and it feels like he's really getting a grip on that right now.
Hey, Adrian, are nerves still a factor for you going into the opener at your age?
I'm not that old of a guy, but yeah, I mean, I'm excited to play football, and last year we were running out there and there's about 10 people up in the stands, and this year it's going to be full. So anytime you get to, I'm living out my dream, plain and simple. This is what I wanted to do when I was a kid. Wanted to come to a big-time school, play big-time football, play in these type of atmospheres, and be the starting quarterback. So, yeah, I got nerves. I got the butterflies. I'm pumped. So, part of that too, knowing what you're doing, it doesn't go away. You're excited to be out there.
Adrian, as a captain, what's your theme or slogan for this season for this team right now?
Well, it's hard to. I don't necessarily want to go with one slogan. There's been a couple things that I've stuck to personally that I will say I try and pass on to other guys, and something I heard from Coach Rude, and that's stacking days. It kind of goes with the day-by-day, the get better mantra, but it's really stuck with me, and I think it's resonated with a lot of the other guys on the team, and it's just about coming out each day and focusing, all right, I'm a stack a day, I'm going to get better, I'm going to do something in some area on the field that's going to make me a better player, make us a better team.
Is there a mindset shift going on offensively this month?
How do you mean exactly?
Oh, I mean, will it look a little different without giving away game plan?
I wouldn't say a mindset change. I'm really excited about the stuff we are doing, though. And, yeah, I'm not going to give anything away. So,
what advantage do you feel like ABM is going to provide you in camp? Obviously, you're one of the first 2 clients.
Yeah, thanks for the question. I'm pumped about ABM. I think it's going to be huge for not only Nebraska football, but Nebraska athletics. and student athletes being able to maximize their potential and do everything they can to, get everything out of their name, image, and likeness. And I'm super fired up that a guy like Jared Lambrick is the head of that company, a guy who understands Nebraska and who is super passionate about Nebraska. I think it has all the potential in the world to be something that will help Nebraska athletics compete on a national landscape.
So they kind of represent you and maybe go out into the community and try to partner. Is that how you would
Yeah,
describe
I mean,
it?
it's a non-exclusive type of agreement. They're not here to hinder us in any way. So for me personally, if I wanted to do a deal through, say, Open Doors or another company, I could do that. But they are to help. They're here to help. I obviously have a lot of responsibilities during the season. I football, school, so I can't really be negotiating my deals all over town, and I'm not the only one. So it'll help a lot of people that way.
Adrian, what's this stage mean to you guys to be the first real big game of the day of the college football season in 2021?
Yeah, I mean, it's sweet. I love that we have a week 0 game. I know the guys are pumped, and even more, it's a Big Ten West opponent. So everything's on the line week 1. Couldn't be more excited about it.
Adrian, I asked Ethan about offensive identity. Maybe in the years past, we didn't know exactly. What do you hope that at the end of the year we say, yeah, Nebraska's offensive identity was?
They were smart, disciplined. Adrian didn't turn over the ball, not even one time. In all seriousness, though, we're going to be a hard-nosed team, and I'm excited to get out there and prove that. We're going to be a team that's disciplined, that's not going to shoot ourselves in the foot, and do the things that we're supposed to do and what Coach wants us to do.
With Illinois, is there stuff you can study from their film last year, personnel-wise, or is it difficult since they have a new regime?
Yeah, it's always pretty difficult. I would say going into week 0, week 1 with the team that hasn't played a real game. We're not 100% sure what they're going to show up in, but yes, there's personnel things you can evaluate, and there's also, where that coach may have played or coached the previous season, and mixing those two elements and formulating a game plan from that.
How far is that? You got a young group of running backs, or at least guys that haven't played much here. How far have they come since the winter, and what should fans expect, I guess, from that group when they sort of see them for the first time?
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of that group. They've really competed, and they're going to see a squad of guys that when they get their chance, they're going to be going 100%. And we got a lot of guys in there that I think are going to do some really good things this year, and we'll see. Pump for them, pump for those guys to prove themselves on the field, because that's what it'll come down to.
I wanted to ask you about Austin because he was named a captain for the first time, and he kind of set that out as a goal for him even early in the offseason. Just what have you seen out of him as a guy who's risen up the depth chart to get to this point?
Yeah, well, he's truly stepped into that role. I think he sort of started understanding it's a combination. My coach always says leadership is performance, performance is leadership, and Austin is one of the best players on this team. And I think understanding that and understanding the influence he had on the team, he really started developing that in the winter and the spring, and then in the summer as well, and in camp, and really stepped to the plate.
Anything else for Adrian?
You have a preseason feast with your coach. Doesn't he usually do something like that right before the season? Make a meal. Coach
Purdue?
Purdue's good.
Yeah, well, COVID season, so I'm not. We haven't done that, but we have plenty of good moments in the meeting room. So.
All good. All right.